Keyboard High School, I'm Kate DePaula.
And I'm Yasamana.
Welcome to another episode of Alumni Spelling, which we feature a special graduate each month and see what they're doing today. Today we're joined by Nick Smutz, proud graduate of the class of 2013. It's so nice of you to join us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun already, just walking around through the school and seeing the halls that I haven't seen since probably I graduated.
What's your current career path?
I'm a realtor. Yeah, at VRI Homes, right downtown in Keyport.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your experience at Keyboard High School, and also what was it like being a student at that time?
I loved my time here at Keyport. Growing up, especially if you've grown up here throughout your entire life, you feel that small town energy and that small town connection with the friends that you meet, even from central school to growing up and throughout high school. So we had a really passionate and close-knit group throughout our entire time and continued into high school and then after that. Our class of 2013 was super close, and not just like my immediate friends, but the whole grade as a whole. I could say was one of the closer grades that I ever got to witness, and I think some teachers here would probably vouch for that. No knock on any other grade, but we were a lot of fun, and we loved the teachers, the sports, the whole aspect of the small school vibe that Keyport has.
And did you participate in any extracurricular activities?
Yeah. I played high school football and baseball throughout my entire 4 years, and I was Mr. Recco's unofficial crowd control for the basketball stands.
The student section?
Yeah, his student section. Yeah.
We still have that here.
Yeah. Is there someone that's running it well?
He's okay.
You're gonna have Recco has the pointers that I used to, implement. So have him.
The Rowdy Raiders.
Okay, I like that. That's a good name. That's a good name.
So tell us about how you chose this path and what you did to further your education.
It took a while for me to come into this career path that I'm in now. After Keyport, I went to Brookdale for 2 years, which I recommend to anyone. Brookdale is great. The professors there, they really care, and you get a phenomenal education. And then after the 2 years there, I went on and transferred to Stockton, and even when I was transferring, I wasn't really entirely sure on what I wanted to do. I knew that I was a people person and that I liked building relationships with people. So I was kind of just riding it out and seeing where that took me, which isn't the best way to go about it. You should probably be a little more dialed into the things that you like and you want to do, especially when you're committing to all these colleges and stuff like that. But I was a little more laid back to it, and then I went to Stockton for a couple years. I graduated with my business administration degree, and then once I left there, I got a job with a company called Metro Fuser, where they sell computer and printer parts to other businesses. Extremely boring stuff, just all phone sales. And I had a couple things transpire in my personal life that kind of showed me that life is short, and what I wanted to do next, I wanted to make sure I loved and I had some passion for. So I ended up quitting that job that I currently had. I went back to serving at a couple restaurants actually, let me take a step back. So before I quit, I was weighing options, and I figured I didn't want to commit to the city, that commute and everything like that. I figured I was going to do something with business, maybe marketing or sales, whatever have you. And I wanted to be local. I didn't want to be confined to an office. I didn't want to just do phone sales for forever. I wanted to meet people and be in front of people. And kind of everything fell underneath this real estate umbrella where I was like, I kind of have an interest for real estate, I always have. And everything kind of falls under this niche. So I quit that job I was at. I went back to serving at Nemo's Asian Fusion in town. Yeah, worked there for forever. And Basili's Italian in over in Middletown. And as I was doing that, I was also dog walking on the side. I had my own little dog walking business. And I was doing all these things while I was studying for my real estate license. This was a process that took a little more than a year or so. And then once I finally got that, I joined Keller Williams brokerage over in Homedale. And 4 years in, I'm now over at VRI Homes in Keyport.
That's great. Okay, and what's your favorite thing about being a real estate agent?
touring homes. and obviously that's one of the most exciting parts, but it's honestly the relationships that I get to build with my clients that, you know, could have been strangers at the beginning of a process, and then at the end they end up becoming, you know, genuine friends that, you know, I see on sometimes I talk to on a monthly basis or the yearly basis whenever I'm checking in, and being able to build those relationships with people and help them, you know, achieve what is a dream for people, which is being a homeowner, to, you know, build a family in and things like that.
Do you think that coming from such a small community influenced you loving building relationships?
Absolutely. You know, when you're in you know, I have friends that, you know, they went to, you know, huge high schools and whatnot where, you know, sure they have, you know, their close-knit friends and things like that, but there's definitely, I think there's not as much of a sense of community as when you have these smaller, tight-knit towns where everyone is basically forced to know each other. And, you know, there's cons of that as well, but I find there to be more pros. And, you know, you just naturally build these genuine relationships with everyone around town where, you know, you can go walking your dog and you'll see 5 people that you know. And some people hate that, but I personally love it. And you get to have these cool conversations with random people that you might not have seen in a couple weeks. And, you know, those types of conversations help turn a day around or something like that. So having that instilled in me from such a young age, when me and my friends since kindergarten would run around town, playing sports, causing havoc, and just meeting other people along the way, definitely influenced, I guess, my passion to meeting other people and building relationships that I implement in my job now.
What are your duties and responsibilities as a real estate agent?
My duties and responsibilities as a real estate agent is to, you know, offer and sustain the utmost and professional service that I can for my clients that put their trust in me to handle such a large and important process and moment for them, to make sure I'm truly giving them my all and looking out for their best interests, not just trying to make a quick sale and trying to force them into a home that they're going to hate within a year or so. So making sure that they are genuinely happy with my service, but also the decision that they ultimately make in the home that they ended up purchasing, to make sure that they are genuinely happy 100% throughout the process is the biggest thing that I try to give them, to put some trust in them.
What do you consider the biggest challenges that you face as a real estate agent?
I mean, being a realtor, it's 100% commission. So if you don't work, you know, you don't eat. You don't make anything. So it's definitely a grind, and, you know, part of the beauty is being your own boss, but also, you know, one of the tougher things is being your own boss. So you have to make sure that you stay really dedicated and on top of your game at all times, to ensure that you have that constant flow of business coming in. Because, you know, like I said, if you don't make any money, you don't make any sales, then you're not really doing anything. So that's probably the hardest part, I guess, would be to make sure you're staying consistent to where, you know, that business continues to fall.
Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you feel the students of Keyboard High School should know about you or your interest in becoming a real estate agent?
I think, I mean, this is more of a question for really any sort of business, and I'm not sure if this was a question that you were going to get into or not, but, you know, just get out there and experience as much as you possibly can when you're trying to figure out what you want to do. You know, start small, start with, you know, recognizing what are the small things that you enjoy in life that you can implement every day that will help, I guess, mold the type of person that you are and the interests that you have, that will take you on to whatever career path you might fall into, because that's ultimately what I did, is I kind of leaned on what are my strengths and comforts. Talking to people, meeting new people, being able to, you know, have an eye for different types of things in real estate that most people might not be able to recognize, and things like that are kind of ultimately what had me kind of fall into this business, you know, having a love for marketing and things like that.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. The Career TV Club would personally like to thank you for all the precious time that you took, and thank you for joining us, Nick.
Would I be able to add a couple things?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can add as much as you want.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out a couple tips for, you know, kids that are graduating, you know, that aren't sure of, you know, what they want to do. I know I was one of those kids, and like I said, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. And just know that's okay. Everybody's on their own path. You know, it's life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Everyone's in their own lane. Don't be afraid to get out there and to fail, because whether you are a A+ student or, you know, a flying F student, failure comes for everybody in some sort of a fashion at some point in their life. And don't be afraid of failure, because failure is life's greatest teacher. And a book that always stuck with me, it's called You Either Win or You Learn by John C. Maxwell. And what's so important that I took from that is that, like I said, failure comes for everybody. And it's on us to not only be able to accept that failure and recognize that it just comes naturally in life, but to also recognize what is that lesson that failure is trying to teach you. And then once you can take that once you can recognize that, then you'll be able to be stronger in whatever faction of life that failure might have happened in. So don't be afraid of that. You're going to fail, and well, let me reword some of what I'm saying, because I keep telling you that you're going to fail. But don't be afraid of it. Get out there, experience life. You know, try to get out there, and whether it's, you know, going to different parts of New Jersey, to different states, get out there and experience new things, meet new people, talk to people that have different points of view than you that you might not agree with, and try to understand why. Just really, I was pre-planning a lot of this when I was coming here that I wanted to kind of hit on, because these are things that I wish people told me back when I was leaving. But I guess that's ultimately it. Get out, be comfortable with who you are. Don't be stressed out by, you know, the outside noise of life, seeing people that might be ahead of you at a point that you think are ahead of you in whatever career that they're venturing in, because you're not where you want to be. Everybody is on their own career path. Everyone's on their own path for life. I know for me, when I left Metro Fuser and I was serving tables again and dog walking, and I'd see people come in that were my age, that were, you know, like 3 years into their career, already had everything established. It put me down. And it took a lot of willpower to just continue to move forward. And ultimately, I got to the point where, you know, I couldn't be happier with where I am. I found out what my niche is, what my career is, and truly everything happens for a reason. So don't let life kick you down and stay down. You know, get back up and keep on moving, because that's really your only option in life. It's either you stay down and, you know, wallow in whatever failures might have happened, or you could get up and keep moving forward. You have two decisions, and that's it.
That's some great advice.
Yeah, so that's all you're going to have, is those two decisions. You can either stop and stay where you're at, or you could get up and continue to move forward, because there's always light and happiness to be found in life, no matter how dark things get. And I'm a testament to that, so I promise you that's the truth of it. So just the more life you experience and the more you focus on the simple joys in life, the more you'll have to lean on when those darker times come and when those failures come. And those are ultimately the building blocks that'll keep you up and moving forward.